What's going on, everyone? Conservative Video Dipper here. If you got a dip, pack a freaking lip. I'm going to be packing Grizzly here in a sec. There was a alleged purported incident about an ICE agent allegedly pointing a gun at a West Virginia uh, or a woman that was in Virginia, a Virginia woman who shouted at them in a video that we're going to hear pretty soon here. This other guy reacting to and talking about. But I want to give you what CNN has a little bit of what they are reporting. So they, in their article, they talk a little bit about what is going on, what has happened, like that ICE basically was confronting a woman because a woman was shouting at them. But then um, we learned the woman's name, Carolina Molina, who is a mental health therapist who obviously was there. That supposedly two Latino, I don't know if it was on this day or on that day that she was there, but apparently it was alleged by her or purported by her that two Latino men were being handcuffed and escorted in an unmarked vehicle by ICE agents, she told CNN affiliations. The encounter was not visible on camera, so she rolled down her window and was like, "You guys are messed up," and continued to swear at them. And her camera shows that she yelled that to them, calling them a beeping hoe, or called them a hoe, and said, "You're effed up," or "You effed up," to the agents. So this sounds like she's pretty much an agitator, an alleged agitator, which she does have the right of freedom of speech to say, "Hey, you guys kind of are dickheads." Yeah, she has rights to express herself, but there's a degree of things you should and should not be doing. And the fact that she yelled at them and was being an alleged agitator does kind of say something. Um, Department of Homeland Security, this is again being purported from a little bit of CNN, spoke to describe that woman, as in a statement as an anti-ICE agitator who drove her car in circles around the ICE officers and then attempted to harm officers by weaponizing her vehicle, allegedly weaponizing her vehicle against them. If that is true, that is, if at all that is true of what is happening, then we obviously know exactly what happens to these people and why these people are being, treated like such way by ICE, because they're agitating ICE. They're going after ICE. If they're allegedly weaponizing their vehicles and trying to attack ICE agents, which are federal officers, then that's a crime in itself that has been committed. And they have a right to get her for it. But we do also have to understand that she does have the right to freedom of speech. She has the right to disagree with them. She has a right to say how she feels about them to a degree, but she does not have a right to what's called interfere. So when you're say you're gonna film the police, right? If you're going to film the police, you have to do it a certain yard away. Otherwise, that's called interfering. And that right there basically will make the cops um, then have to drop what they're doing and pay attention to you, which puts possibly their life in jeopardy. Or they will have to call for backup for another squad to watch you, which technically is considered like babysitting, watch you to make sure that you're not going to do anything to them. You know that interfering with law enforcement is illegal, for one. So if she did allegedly interfere with law enforcement, then obviously we know exactly what she allegedly did. That was just full bore her trying to interfere with ICE. Now, should she have done that? No. Was there a better way for her to do it? Yes. And I understand why people are agitated with ICE. I get it. It's not just, and this is from North Virginia, by the way. This was in North Virginia, not the um, West Virginia. If I accidentally said West Virginia, but it's North Virginia. Again, because I get that people think, oh, ICE doesn't like to be called out and this, that, and the other. It's not that. They expect that from people because they know what they're up against when it comes to doing their job, waking up. They know that when they put that badge on, people are going to hate them. When they put that ICE vest on, people are going to hate them. People are going to hate them because people think that they're evil. But what is not being told truthfully is that what is in context going on here. So I figured I'd give you the little bitty rundown, at least to get context in the situation before we dig into the hypocrisy crap. But before we do, I do want to make it perfectly plain and clear. Do not interfere with ICE. Do not interfere with law enforcement. That is a no-no. That will get you arrested. And if this woman again did allegedly, by any means, try to weaponize her vehicle and use it against ICE, that is also a no-no. That is right there going to possibly get her put in jail. Now, I think it is being purported that they are investigating the situation as to what had happened. But I'm just giving you, again, the rundown from what CNN is saying in their article. But this is why when people don't, they listen to the news and then they go out there and try to find ICE. And be an agitator, sorry, you can't do that. You don't want to be an agitator. Yes, again, you can film ICE just as much as you can film police, but the same rules are implied with ICE, just like you would with a cop. So let's get into the video here.
You almost ran us over. I did almost ran us over.
Okay, so this guy, again, is reacting to that situation that I just read to you about. The ICE agent is saying, you almost ran me over, you almost ran me over. Obviously, we have seen time and time again what people are willing to do towards ICE agent. Do I always agree with some of their tactics? Not always. But I do agree that they are there to arrest the illegal people. That there are good ICE agents out there that are doing their job, but they get bullied a lot. And same point in case with like Renee Good and all the other incidents that we've talked about with ICE. It's the same thing. You mess with them, they're going to retaliate back.
Stop playing. Full of shit. Stop playing. You are full of shit. All right.
One thing that I noticed is that, yes, I do see in the video the ICE agent has his gun pulled. He didn't shoot her, but he's got his weapon drawn. And it's sideways and it's pointing at her. I see the light on underneath the gun. So this would be like the light. This would be the barrel. So he's got it pointed at her like this. But he hasn't shot her. I think that lady definitely, if she did allegedly try to use her car again as a weapon and try to run over an ICE agent, she's lucky that they didn't allegedly shoot her for it. She's lucky. Because if you try to run over ICE with your vehicle, they do have the right to shoot you. That's just a point in case right there of don't fuck around with ICE and you won't win stupid prizes. But in this case, we don't know technically what happened. It's just what the little bitty clip that this guy is showing and what I've read from CNN is right now what I'm kind of getting.
You're not funny. You're not funny.
If you keep agitating ICE, lady, and you keep trying to, if you're allegedly agitating or there to be an agitator, then yeah, ICE is going to be pissed with you. They're going to be pissed off with you. They have a reason to be pissed with you. Because you're doing stupid shit. Like you're trying to interfere with them.
We'll arrest you. Keep it up. I'm a legal citizen. Keep it up. I don't care. Oh my goodness. Keep it back you up. Okay. For what? The one that tried to run us over. Run you over when? I got recording.
When? She said, when did I try to run you over? And the ICE agent's like, you tried to run me over. No, it didn't show exactly on dash cam because this guy didn't show exactly everything that happened, but just the reaction and the interaction with her and ICE talking and sounding like kind of a yelling battle between the two. Like ICE agent was pissed. She was pissed. So adrenaline was rushing and tempers were flaring. But again, if she did allegedly try to do that, she's lucky that they didn't arrest her or shoot her for doing that.
I got dash cam.
Okay, you have dash cam. Great. But also at the same time, you do realize that if she did allegedly try to run ICE over, that dash cam could be possibly used for evidence to whether prove her innocent or guilty of doing such, if she did allegedly try to do that. So just remember that. They can possibly get a subpoena or a warrant for that dash cam.
I got dash cam. That's a lie.
Now she's claiming that's a lie. Now again, we don't know the full content or context of the situation in the video here, but what I read and what's being alleged and purported, it sounds like she was possibly an instigator and she was agitating ICE agents. And now for the fact, again, that did she possibly try to run them over? We don't know. So, but again, if she did try to do that, that's illegal. That's vehicle homicide, potential alleged homicide with a vehicle, and that she can be charged with in the court of law if they decide to do that to her. This is why I think it's always not just a good idea to record your interaction, but also, again, stay away from them. Stay away from ICE. Because you know what's going to happen with these people. These people are going to definitely not only do their job, but they're going to be very, very nervous because of what has going on with them and people not liking them. Temperatures of adrenaline and anger and fear are going to hit high. So they're going to be on high alert. They're going to have, their feelings of what is going on. They're going to assess the situation the way that they would assess it. Now, do I think that ICE should have body cams? Yes, I do think that they should have body cams. And I don't know if they do or don't, but I think it'd be good if ICE started doing the same thing too, wearing body cams. Not only to protect them, but if, let's say, they do allegedly try to pull some sneaky stuff, then the body cam can show the court, here's what really happened.
I watched the whole video.
Now, this guy claiming he watched the whole video, but he didn't show us the whole video. He just showed us half of the video, which obviously, again, is very deceitful and out of context. So we don't know the whole context. If I wouldn't have read to you what CNN was purporting, we wouldn't have known the whole context. But now I kind of get a general idea that she probably was an alleged agitator, as I said before. So she probably was in the wrong. But I don't know much other than what's being purported and the little bit that I just saw here.
Disgusting. I saw the entire thing. These ICE agents with masks on, like Nazi Germany.
This is, again, what, pardon me, the left are always claiming ICE to be. Schmazis or Nazis. Because they don't like ICE. They think it's okay to go out there and agitate them and start, stirring the pot a little bit with them and causing them to be disrupted while doing their job on the clock. And there should be no repercussion for anybody that goes out there and allegedly tries to agitate them. That's not true. They're not Nazis. They're just agents who are trying to do their job. But a lot of hate is getting thrown at them directly, not just by the media and by politicians, but by people that are anti-ICE, and they're pushing these propagandas of anti-ICE theories. And it's stupid, because what are the left known to do? Allegedly be agitators. They're good at trying to play the victimhood. So if, again, she did allegedly try to do something towards the ICE agent, that's on her. She was allegedly the one, then she has to take the blame for what she allegedly did. If they find her guilty of trying to allegedly run over an ICE agent with a vehicle.
Arrested 2 allegedly undocumented immigrants.
Which is their job. Their job is to arrest undocumented immigrants. CNN, we already read the purport, what was being purported by CNN. So obviously we know this is okay what CNN says. Now, do I trust what CNN is purporting? Not always. But if CNN is being honest on this call and saying, yes, these 2 were undocumented and ICE was detaining them, and they were alleged undocumented immigrants that were here illegally, then ICE really was not doing anything wrong at that point. They were doing their job. It was just the woman was in the wrong and being the agitator. So it's not really disgusting if they were just doing their job.
She drove by and said, F you guys. Good. Fuck ICE.
Okay, you have a right to believe that. That's your opinion. But again, that's the typical leftist opinion that always gets spewed out. Because they don't like ICE, because ICE is trying to do their job. And the left don't want them to do their job.
So they chased her down.
That's not what was allegedly being purported. See, now we're going into alleged false narratives. Because now we want to make it look like it was allegedly ICE's fault, and the ICE agent was allegedly at fault for it. No. Again, if ICE was doing their job and she allegedly was driving by, calling them a dumb hoe and saying, you guys effed up, and then trying to allegedly use her vehicle as a weapon to run over an ICE agent, again, who's to blame here? The woman. So if that is true, that it was her fault, then again, she has to take the blame. But if it's not, then it would fall onto the ICE agent's fault for doing such thing. But again, that's why I think ICE does need to start wearing body cams, because shit like this is happening way too much. And I'm not just saying it as in, oh, it's always ICE's fault. I'm not always blaming ICE for bad things that are happening, because we know what the left are capable of doing towards them and against them, and how the left feel against them. But I think it would be in the best interest, definitely, again, for not only ICE agents to wear the body cam, but at least it would give more sense of security, so that when they do have to go into court and prove whether what happened did allegedly happen, then there's evidence. And it's not just her against them, or, her just saying this and then confronting them on her camera and trying to agitate them and make them look bad. It can be both sides, yes, have cameras and documentations of the interaction. So then that way the court can look at both sides and say which side is wrong.
Locked her in, a U.S. citizen.
A U.S. citizen that allegedly tried, from what was being purported, use her vehicle to run one of them over and agitate them and disrupt them from doing their job. That was what's being purported.
Put a gun in her face.
The gun wasn't directly on her face. It was, from what we could see, I can't tell if it was direct on her face, but it was pointed at her. I could see this. I could see in the video camera that was of hers. Yeah, he had the gun out, and yes, it was pointing directly at her. They're trying to figure out, is she going to be a bigger threat? What are they going to do? They have to assess the situation and see whether or not she's going to possibly be a bigger threat.
And then they lied and says, "Oh, you're trying to ram us with the car."
Well, what was being purported by the alleged CNN News Tier 1 media was that that's what allegedly she did, or was trying to do. But we don't know if it actually hit the ICE agent or not. But what was being purported was she did try.
How many times have I said this? Every time they do something bad, they try to run us with the car. They try to run us with the car. They did the same thing with Renee Good.
Here's the thing. I'm really sick and tired of this whole poor Renee Good crap. Renee Good was not a victim. She was a suspect that was part of an attempt to run ICE over with her vehicle. And in that video, you can look at that video. Renee Good's wife came out of the car and started really bad-mouthing the ICE agent that was recording their license plate, the back of their vehicle, trying to get the ID of that car for if anything did allegedly happen, then they could put a bolo, be on the lookout for this vehicle. And Renee Good's wife was bad-mouthing them. And then you could see in one part of the video, Renee Good's wife jumped in the car and said, "Drive, baby, drive." Basically upright in front saying, "Run them over," is what Renee Good's wife did. So who's more guilty here? Renee Good or Renee Good's wife, or both of them? At this point, it would be both of them, because Renee Good was the one who did it. Yes, Renee Good's wife was kind of instigating it, allegedly, and did point out that the video pointed out more than anything that both of them are at fault for it. And Renee Good wouldn't have been shot if she wouldn't have tried to run over a damn ICE agent. Now, I do understand where people are going to say, okay, the ICE agent shouldn't have been in front of the car. I get that. I get that point really really loud and clear. Sure, that probably is not standard procedure, but at the same time, it's still, no matter where the ICE agent was, trying to run them over is still a no bueno situation, and a situation that's going to possibly potentially either cause you to lose your life because they're going to quickly react by shooting, or they're going to try to jump out and try to grab you or find a way to grab you if they can, or you have to chase them down. And that was another thing too that people do mention. Why couldn't the ICE agent just have jumped out of the way and then gone for pursuit? There's multiple different scenarios that could have happened, but again, you got to remember, tempers were flaring, adrenaline was high, and adrenaline's always going to be high with these people, with ICE agents, because they know that people right now are very temperamental against them. So there is a lot of questions of what could have possibly been done better or differently. But in that situation, now we will never know. And we know now that ICE is trying to do things a little bit differently by not standing in direct line of people's vehicles. But when people just try to run them over and they're not paying attention or know that that's happening, or they see it and they try to get out of the way, and somebody does it on purpose, or we could say maybe alleged accidental on purpose in their opinion, because we know the left love to claim it was an accident. Come on. But we know the truth. It was on purpose. And that's why we get these issues, because the agitators are going to do these things. They're not going to stop.
The lady that said, "Have a great day."
Renee Good may have said that, but you also got to remember, her and her wife, Renee Good's wife, were both trying to agitate ICE. They were trying to get a reaction out of ICE, that ICE agent. So this is just another, we know what's really possibly going on here with that one. But this one, it's still unknown, because I don't know much detail other than what CNN is purporting. And I want more evidence of it. I want to look on different other sources to see what's being said. So I see what CNN is saying. And again, maybe CNN is right on this one. Maybe, surprisingly, they were being not disingenuous this time, and they were actually reporting truthfully what was going on. That would be a miracle for CNN to actually do that one time in their life, which that would not only be a miracle, but that just would be very shocking to all of us.
He didn't even investigate it.
How does an ICE agent, if allegedly almost being ran over by a car, can they investigate this? How? They can do it afterwards. But the ICE agent basically, you heard what he said. Stop trying to run us over with your car. It's not funny. We're not playing games here. We're going to arrest you next time. She just got off more than likely with a warning that time. She was lucky, hella lucky to get that warning from them. It could have gone way worse. She could have either been allegedly shot or definitely dragged out of the car and arrested right there and then with no questions asked. That's why you just don't fuck with ICE. You leave them alone.
And when she said, "I have a dash cam," they ran away.
No, they did not run away because she said, "I have a dash cam." that was not true. It didn't seem like they were run away because she said that. They walked away because the ICE agent gave her a warning saying, don't do that shit again or we will arrest you. And they tried to walk away, but then she continued to try to continue in a verbal conversation and conflict with them, allegedly creating more of a verbal conflict with them than she should have. She should have just kept her mouth shut and had gone on with her day. But I'm not always siding with every ICE agent, and especially with this one. Again, I don't know what really truthfully was done or said, other than, again, what was being purported and what just a little bit of clip we saw, or I saw this guy react to. So I don't have much to go on, but with the little bit of what I'm kind of reading, it sounds more like she was kind of an instigator more than just an innocent, beautiful young lady going for a drive or going to work or doing whatever, picking up groceries, picking up her kids or whatever, minding her own damn business. No, it didn't sound like that. It sounded like she was trying to agitate, and she knew damn well what she was doing, and she knew she shouldn't have done that, which obviously, again, is going to put her in that situation that they're going to react the way they do. So maybe if people just kind of think about this a little bit more, that it's not a good idea to try to use your vehicle to run over ICE. That's a stupid idea.
I don't understand.
Of course, these leftists don't understand rules, legalities, and anything. They have a very difficult time understanding that what happens is if you either try to not only run over ICE agents, cops, and or the cops too, you're going to get in trouble for it. So what is there not to understand? You just don't do shit like that. You don't do it. No matter how much you may hate ICE or law enforcement, just mind your own goddamn business. Have the day you deserve. Have the goddamn day you deserve. Go out there and live your life. Don't try to agitate these people or try to get a reaction out of these people because you want to play victim for something that you allegedly did that was stupid and you know you shouldn't have done. That's what these lefties don't understand. They don't understand that ICE agents are federal agents. They're under the same scrutiny that cops are, that FBI are under. Every law enforcement agency is under the same scrutiny, and that's just true. But playing stupid games and hoping that you're not going to win a stupid prize does not always work out very well for these people. It is just not how it works. And it doesn't end well. Because look at what happened to, again, Renee Good. Renee Good is a freaking prime example of Exhibit A of why you don't go doing that shit. Why you don't go running around trying to follow ICE and antagonize these people. Because what will happen is you will win a stupid prize. You will potentially or possibly win a stupid prize that you don't want. So if you don't want it, then don't do it. Just simple.
And excuse my language, what the fuck you people need to see in this country to start giving a shit? I don't want to hear about the damn midterms. Sorry, brown people. Sorry, Hispanics, Latinos, Muslims. There's nothing I can do. You're going to have to wait for me to vote 3 to 6 months. I hope you aren't shot in the head by ICE with your 3-year-old in the back. I hope you don't die in a concentration camp. There's nothing I can do. Oh, shit. I got to go see Supergirl. My bad. Oh, I got a tea time in 30 minutes. Sorry. I can't afford to do anything.
So these lefties think that going out there, allegedly agitating the ICE and doing whatever the fuck that they want to do or say towards alleged ICE, an ICE agent, isn't going to have consequences. But not only that, but they think that doing such thing is being virtuous or helping the situation more, when it doesn't really help the situation more. All it does is it gets them in trouble, and then tempers flare, adrenaline's high, and something's going to happen. Something's going to give. Whether it be ICE drag you out of your fucking car, or they allegedly shoot you because you're trying to allegedly run them over with your vehicle, something is going to happen. And they think that doing this is the way to stop ICE. No. This isn't going to stop ICE. What this is going to do is make ICE possibly or potentially react a way to defend themselves, because you're doing something. You're trying to get a reaction out of them. Do I think ICE has every right to react if their life is allegedly being threatened? Yes. They have a right to defend themselves legally if they feel like their life is being threatened. Do I feel like cops or ICE agents need to pull somebody over because you're driving by going, fuck you, dumb hoe? No. No. They don't need to do that. If somebody's driving by saying, fuck you, dumb hoe, and flipping them off, then no. They just ignore it. But if somebody's trying to run them over, then yes, that's a obvious, reasonable response for them to do, is to legally defend themselves. Just like what allegedly happened with Renee Good and some of the other incidents. Because people are getting too damn comfortable thinking that this is how you fight against them. It's not. You're not going to win against them by trying to do stupid things towards them. That's how you can possibly potentially lose your life or end up in jail or prison. It's not being virtuous. It's just stupid. It's pity. Well, not really pity, but it's pitiful. It's demeaning. Like, why would you waste your freedom to go out there and do something stupid towards them? That, this to me does not make any sense. Like, if I see an ICE agent, guess what? I'm gonna mind my business. I'm not gonna go out there and start yelling at them and start belittling them or trying to interfere where I could possibly be shot at or killed because they are in fear of their life or may have seen me move or grab something a certain way that makes them think that I'm allegedly grabbing for a possible weapon and then them shooting me because of it. I ain't gonna do that. because I'm smarter than that. But these leftists are stupid enough to go out there and do this shit and think that this is worth it. Y'all should have, on the left, should have taken a good look at the case of what happened to Renee Good and learn from that lesson. Don't do stupid shit.
Ask yourself, if that was your mom, your daughter, your mom, if they were...
My mom, my daughter, my mom. You said mom twice, buddy. Which obviously, again, this guy's obviously losing it. It's about what is legally right. It's not about doing things just to be virtuous or try to fight for a cause that's not going to be something you're going to win. You're not going to win the battle. You're going to lose. And it possibly can potentially cost you your life, just like it did with Renee Good. It costed her her life. And now her wife and her kid, and her wife's kid, or kids, don't have their mom anymore because of what she decided to do. Because of what her two mommies decided to allegedly do towards ICE, agitate them, tried to allegedly run them over, and ended up getting one of them shot for something stupid that they shouldn't have done. I'm all for getting rid of illegal immigrants, but we really need to stop this stupid shit of thinking that people going out there and trying to play Superman or superhero, the vigilante, or the anti-hero, or a hero in general, is going to work in their favor. It never does. And people are not learning from it.
Concentration camp?
There is no concentration camp. None whatsoever. And they haven't proven any of it to be true. Because they're not being held in concentration camps. What they're being held in is a detention center until they get their trial. The illegals are being held in a detention center, or a center that is a prison, basically, or a jail. Not a prison, but a jail. And when they go through the court system, the court will then decide. Let the legal system do the job. Whether you think the legal system is fair or unfair, don't interfere with them. Or don't interfere with ICE. There's different ways that you can help people. But going out there trying to play the vigilant anti or the anti-hero, or playing as the pretend hero that you think you are but you aren't, is not going to ever work for you, for them, for not only for ICE. It's not going to work for ICE. It's not going to work for the illegal immigrants. Nobody's going to... It could end up very badly. And we need to stop allowing the left to do this. Because the left are willing to risk their lives and their freedom for doing this. Obviously, it shows what they're willing and how far they're willing to go with this. And they should have learned already that this never works in their favor. It works against them, not for them. But they are dumb enough to continue. It's like the definition of insanity. You do the same thing over and over again, and you think there's going to be a change in this. It's not.
If they were treated poorly, would you be doing that?
If my parents were illegal, I would just say, sorry, you gotta go. As hard as it would be for me to say, I'm sorry, you gotta go through the legal system, I would have to do it. I wouldn't stop them. I wouldn't stop ICE. I wouldn't stop the police because I can't. Because I would lose. Knowing that maybe, just maybe, the justice system may have a little mercy or may send them back and then say, we understand your situation. You got a kid here, but sorry, you got to go back, come through legally. You can be here legally. That will be fine. That's how I would treat it as. Just let the courts decide. I wouldn't do shit about it.
There's not a chance in hell that you would.
I would because I'm smart enough to know not to do stupid shit. I know that the risk do not weigh the reward for this.
So why are you doing it to a stranger? That's what I don't understand.
Because they're here illegally. And you lefties want to pretend that you're a hero, but you're not. You're a zero. It's God the honest truth. You're all on the left are not a hero. Again, y'all on the left thinking you're doing this and you're making a big difference. Yeah, you're making a big difference by making an ass out of all of yourselves by doing this and possibly potentially risking your lives and your freedom. For what? Something stupid that you have no control over. You don't have fucking control over these people. They're going to outnumber you. And more than likely, it's not going to be anything, again, that will make you win.
Why is this country unwilling to get off their asses and fight for what's right?
Because people are not stupid. Some people aren't stupid enough to do things that they're doing because they're smarter. They see what is going on and they understand that there's a legal process and that legal process must be done. Whether we agree with it or not, they have to go through that legal process. That's just simple.
In this country, I don't get it.
Of course, you wouldn't get it because your leftist thinking is always about what you want to do, what they want to do, not what is right. It is not right to go risk your own life. Sure, you should fight for people that need to be, protected and defended. But when it comes to illegal immigration, to me, that is a fight that I'm not willing to fight for. Because I would be outnumbered, and it wouldn't go in my favor. It wouldn't work. I don't go up there making stupid decisions based off of what the media tells me, because I'm not the kind of person that does that. I'm not going to listen to the fake news media that tells me to go out there and do stupid shit and possibly potentially risk my life for somebody that is illegal. That shouldn't be here in the first place. If you're here legally, fine, we can fight for you. But we'll take it to court. That's where you should have the argument of that conversation. in court, not out against these people, not taking your anger outward, but keep it inside yourself and fight legally. Do the legal thing. The legal thing would be fight it in court. Try to stand up for them if they are legal. But if they're illegal, I'm sorry, they have to go. There's nothing we can do. They not only shouldn't have been here in the first place, but they're not U.S. citizens. They're illegal immigrants, illegal aliens that are here, trying to be here illegally and mooch off of the government, which is not okay. We don't want that. We're trying to stop it. And that's where the left always get it wrong every time. They think it's okay to fight because what they don't understand is the legal process, the legal system, and or that they could get reprimanded or put in jail or allegedly shot or get in trouble for what they're doing. They don't care about any of it. They don't know the difference between right and wrong. There is no right and wrong for the left. That's why the left are the way they are.
I hear so many people saying, we're doing this. No, what you're doing is you're doing it from the comfort of your house.
And what are you doing? What is this guy doing? Nothing. He's doing it from the comfort of his house. So basically, that's deflection. He's being a hypocrite because that's what he does. It's stupid. It's degrading.
Million people out of 350 million got off their asses and protested on a Saturday. Are you kidding me? That's it? That's not even the bare minimum.
It's better than nothing. I mean, that's
bullshit. That is a white participation trophy.
There we go with the racism again, the anti-whiteism. Because these white lefties have to feel like they're doing something right.
You know what black people had to do? For a year and a half, they would have to protest just for wanting to be equal to the white man.
Sure, they protested, but they did it legally. And if they were doing something wrong, the cops would arrest them for it. Basic knowledge and legality knowledge.
They can vote and be treated like human beings, not like animals. Albania.
These people that are here illegally are here illegally, and people are trying to protect them. Why? Because they're humans. Sure, they're human beings. They should be treated like human beings, not treated like crap. But ICE isn't really trying to treat them like crap. ICE is doing their job. ICE is saying, hey, you're here illegally. We have a warrant for you. Sorry, but you got to go. You got to go to jail. Fight it in court. Have your lawyers or get a lawyer that can help represent you in the best way possible. And if you cannot afford one, then one may be appointed for you. You can ask the court to appoint you a lawyer so that the lawyer can fight for you legally and defend you. And so that you don't try to allegedly incriminate yourself by doing something stupid or saying something stupid in the first place.
They make $900 a month US dollars.
$900. Okay, Albania.
On average, before taxes.
Okay.
20% of their country live in poverty.
So if Albanians make $900 a month minus taxes. How are they allegedly poor or live in poverty? I mean, I can see that some part of Albania probably has poverty, but I don't know how that. I mean, to me, that just doesn't kind of make sense, but okay.
Protested for 6 weeks. They went on a strike for 6 weeks. They shut the whole thing down.
Okay, cool. That's Albania. But what was their reasoning for doing it? Their reasoning was probably different than what you lefties are doing. They did it for the right reason, not because of stupid shit that they hear on the media telling them to go do stupid shit and thinking it's okay to go do stupid shit and then risk their alleged life or their freedom for it. Sure, the Albanians did probably allegedly risk their freedom and their alleged lives trying to protest for their reason and their purpose, but it was for a particular reason. Because maybe they were pissed off with the government and how the government treated them, or they weren't getting paid enough, or they felt like things were unfair in the workforce. Who knows?
Because they didn't want the Kushners building $1 billion casino at their country.
Is that really it? I haven't heard anything about it, so okay.
They didn't have any excuses. So what's your excuse? Because I really want to know.
People would rather do what's right and legal, not illegal, and something stupid.
This is what happened in Nazi Germany.
No. That was different. That was completely a whole different bowl of wax. And we're not even going to get into that one.
When I was in Hamburg and Berlin and parts of
Hamburg,
Amsterdam, they have these little bronze squares. It has the name of the person that was kidnapped by Hitler, the day they were born.
You mean the Nazis? Hitler didn't kidnap people himself.
The day they took
He had his goonies do it for him.
them, and the day he murdered them.
Okay, that's different. That's completely different than what is going on now. And this is exactly what the left will always do. They will always try to compare what is going on with ICE to Nazi Germany, which is a bad comparison. It is just a shitty comparison.
7 million people.
7 million people. Okay, that's quite a little bit of people. Sure, it's not a whole bunch, but it's quite a bit if you think about it.
And every neighbor all around them when they were taken is doing the same thing that you are right now.
Okay, in Nazi Germany, if people were being drugged out of their houses by the Nazis, you couldn't say shit because otherwise you would either probably get more than likely shot or imprisoned and then probably shot or executed right there and then. That's what the Nazis would do. That's not what's happening now.
There's nothing I can do. It doesn't affect me. How are you any less complicit than MAGA?
There's a whole big difference here. But the left just wanted... This is what pisses me off. Because the left are just dumb enough to believe that this same shit that's happening, not the same shit, but the shit happening now is allegedly the same shit that happened in Nazi Germany. It's not the same. It's different. ICE is doing their job legally. Nazis did what they did illegally, but they were doing what they were told by their leader, their Führer, AH, because if they disobeyed the Führer, they would get more than likely killed for treason, for disobeying an order. There's a difference.
How are you any different than 3 officers that watched George Floyd get murdered?
Oh, and don't even bring up that George Floyd shit. Oh, jeez. See, bringing up that George Floyd shit is getting old. Because we know what George Floyd was. He was a thug. No more, no less. He was a thug. He was a black man that was a thug who allegedly murdered a pregnant woman the night before he died by him trying to allegedly OD himself or make himself OD on narcotics, drugs, by alleged drug use. There's a big difference.
Because you're not. You have some sense that because you're poor, that things are tough, that gives you a reason to excuse and not to stand up for people. That's why we're here.
No, we stand up for people when it's right. It's not right to stand up for illegal immigrants that are here illegally. I understand that some of them are just wanting to be here because their country is not doing very good. It's kind of hurting them. But that doesn't give them an excuse to do something illegal, like illegally try to cross over the border. And then trying to compare ICE to Nazi Germany or to the Nazi Germans, which not only is kind of a piss poor contradiction, but it's also kind of very hateful towards German people that are German, that or have German heritage, that don't agree with what the Nazis did back in 1930s and 1940s. That's just kind of basically right there hateful towards the Germans that didn't do anything. You're basically saying at that point, it's like saying all black people are thugs. Just like you're kind of alleging all Germans are Nazis. That's what they're alleging ICE to be. Like, they're bad people. All ICE agents are bad. See, it's just the same thing like all cops are bad. It's the same different talking point in different verbal language being used, but that's kind of how they're putting it. Yeah, not all black people are bad. There are good black people out there. There are good white people. There are good people all around. There are bad people, different race, different ethnicities. It doesn't make every single one person bad. Just like voting for MAGA doesn't make every single person that voted for MAGA a bad person. Sure, there are MAGA people out there that are really bad, that don't represent us, that do things. Like I was watching a video on YouTube of a guy that got pulled over and he wore a MAGA hat. And I know some of you are going to say, see, I told you. See, that disproves your theory. But hold on. I'm going to disprove it by using this. He wore it looked to be like an alleged MAGA hat. Make America Great Again hat, right? He was refusing to give the cop the ID that he had because his ID had some tape on it to where the cops weren't able to see his name, date of birth, or whatever. And he had an arrest record already, an alleged arrest record already. So, and alleged mental illness. So when one of the cops came to break the window, the plexiglass window, the guy pulled a gun on the cop and shot the cop. and killed one of the cops. That doesn't represent us. That's not what we do. That's just somebody that is sick, mentally ill, and twisted. And it's sad. And it was an actual live, or not a live, but a YouTube video showing the police body cam of what happened. And it hurt me to see that cop being shot.
We haven't progressed as a society.
We have progressed a lot. It's just you leftists are way too progressive. Way too pushy.
Isn't it time that people that look like me finally do something?
No. Why? Not being stupid would be the first step to doing something right, actually. Not interfering in ICE or the police officer's business. I mean, you do have every right to film them. And when they're done, ask them questions like, hey, what was going on? What was the stop for? Are your body cams rolling? Did you follow the constitutional law to a T? Yes, no, okay. There are good questions right there. But it shouldn't be white people have to do everything. Just like it's not on, you're pushing it on everyone else, and that's not right. That's just stupid.
Isn't it?
Why? Because you want white people to be the savior, to be virtuous, allegedly ruin their life and their freedom for something stupid that's going to be fought in court anyway, whether you do or don't interact with ICE or to the police officers. Or maybe not. Maybe the cop gave them a warning. Who knows? Or, yeah, ICE did detain the 2 Latino men, or the 2 Latinos. So what? Move on with your day. You don't have to be the fucking white savior every time, leftists. You guys gotta really get this out of your head. It is not on you to be the hero here. You're not fucking Rorschach or Spider-Man, Superman or Supergirl or Wonder Woman. You're not a fucking goddamn hero. You're just a normal civilian human being that wants to play hero and be the vigilant anti-hero or the anti-hero or whatever, or the hero in general. And it's never going to go the way you want it to. Something's going to happen. And that's why I will always say that with people on the left, because they don't understand that there are good ways to deal with this, but trying to blame it and put it on white people, it's just stupid.
Why? We keep saying we're a great country.
Yes, we are. We are.
Okay, we have money. What do you do? Who gives a damn?
Who gives a damn? All of us. We care. Because money is important, too.
3 people and half the wealth.
Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs actually did. Fauci allegedly did. So probably more than a few. But okay, they make up less than what the middle class and the low class are. That's like bare minimum. That's just part of life. Okay, people like the Amazon company and et cetera, that are a little bit on the wealthy side. Okay, sure, they are being taxed probably just the same amount as we are, if not maybe a little bit more. Okay, so what? They're humans too. They're human beings too. That, yes, make a little bit more money than the middle class and the low class. So what? It's capitalism.
What kind of country sits by and watches people die in concentration camps?
Well, first of all, lefties, they're not in concentration camps. These people are not in concentration camps. These immigrants, the illegal immigrants that are being arrested, are not in concentration camp. They're in jail. In a holding cell until their trial. And they can go in front of a judge. So stop using the whole concentration camp narrative. Because not only is that really ignorant, but it also kind of is presumptuous and rude also towards the Jewish people that had suffered under actual Nazi Germany.
Nazi Germany did, and then it's America.
Nazi Germany was different. America does not follow what German Nazism is. They don't follow it. We do not follow the Nazism. We don't, most of us conservative, good MAGA people don't believe in that shit. Most people really don't. It's the neo-Nazis that are, the real neo-Nazis that are out there that, yeah, they do. But those are the bad people. Kind of like the left kind of follow some of the alleged Nazism propaganda type narratives. Banning, silencing people, cancel culture, this whole culture war shit. This is what the left do. Exactly what the alleged Nazis did in 1940s.
Because you would rather go watch Ted Lasso. Great job. Great priorities, America. You do you. But don't act like your silence is innocence.
Okay, what is this supposed to mean? So you're trying to guilt trip us into feeling guilty because we don't want to go out there and be stupid and do the same shit that Renee Good did and allegedly risk our lives for somebody that's here illegally and shouldn't have been here in the first place. So you want us to go out there and do that because you think that's being the white savior, the white hero, the vigilante. No. Again, that's stupid. That's just stupidity right there. You're falling for it.
Because evil succeeds when white people do nothing.
Again, that's racism right there. That's reverse racism. And also that's pushing a lot of your propaganda on people, trying to guilt trip them, which is narcissism, which always the left do. And people like this guy are narcissistic. They are narcs through and through, and they will never not learn not to be it because that's what they're told, what they see, and what they hear, and what they should be, because that's what their higher ups want them to do. That's stupid.
You have a good day.
Anyway, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. My Twitter, same name, Conservative Video Dipper. Rumble, Conservative Video Dipper. My Twitter account and my Rumble account and my TikTok account are all Conservative Video Dipper. Go check out Conservative News Wave. And as always, I will see you guys real soon. Have a good day, guys.